idea. I don't know. But you see, my mother said he always wanted a girl to be called Annie from Abingdon. He wanted a little girl, and then it was out. And when you see, so
he went in the war when he was about 23 or 24.
What?
He must have gone in the army when he was about 23 or 24.
Well, I mean, he must have been in. I was one. There was only one where he was killed, so how can I remember anything from being 1 year old? You know. Our Bob was 5, but he didn't remember me, Dad, because he never saw you, did he? Canning 14, where he was in before that, because the letters that he had asked is from long before I was born, hoping that this time they'd have a little girl.
Yeah.
So he must have been in, he mustn't have been very old, really, must he?
You don't know who he worked for?
No, I don't remember anything like that, you see. My mum never seemed to talk about these things. That's all I can remember about that. Because of his age, 21. He was called up, and he had his medical on his 21st birthday. And he said, when he went just before, they did what they call conscription. Most people don't remember that, well I do, because he was one. They conscripted all the youth that age, and he came in that age group, and he wasn't in a position, a firm that, you know what I mean, what did he call it? War work, special. There was a name for it. Well, he wasn't, he was just clerking and whatnot, office work, so he was called up. In the June or July, he was 21, it must have been June, because his birthday was 22nd of June. And he said, oh, don't worry, he said, you know, I'll be out for 6 months, you know. It was probably 6 months for training, 6 months militia. And of course, he went in, and he said they were shouting that day, Valerie, 21 today. I've been medical for the forces. September, of course, war broke out. So we did 6 years and a half. 6 years after that. That's how he came to be.
So where was he working then when he went in?
He was working at Able Avis.
So he had to go back to his job?
Yeah, start at the bottom. That's why them that were there, that Cliff Howard you heard me talking about, he was kept. Oh, that's what happened to where he worked, you see. They kept so many people back who were essential kind of thing, you know what I mean? Cliff Howard climbed up the tree by the time your dad come home. He was one of the top knots there, you know what I mean? And it was very unfair, you see, that your dad had got to start at the bottom and work his way up again. So that's the unfairness of life, you see, today. Cliff Howard really got on, became a director eventually, you see. He was at top, and because he was older than your dad, it's older than your dad, he wasn't called up, you see, but your dad was. Start work at 7:30. It took me an hour to get to work. I was on the 6:30 bus or tram in the morning.
Oh, it wasn't nearby then?
Was it? Stratford Park.
So it was nearby, was it?
Bulmers was, yeah. Well, no,
I told Bulmers.
That was in Manchester, the city.
Bulmers.
Bulmers was.
B-O-L.
They were either German or something.
Where was Bulmers?
Percy Bulmers. That was in the town centre.
Oh, right.
It's not there anymore now.
Where was Metrobix then?
To go to Metrobix, after you go into the Manchester, cross through Manchester to Piccadilly, you know Piccadilly bus station. Get another bus there at Piccadilly to go to Trafford Park. And I used to leave home, be on the 6:30 bus or tram buses, and start work for 7:30. Eh?
Start working at 7:30 go?
Start your work at 7:30.
What was the
and
day?
he didn't drive. But Tuesday and Thursday he worked overtime till 7.
11 hour day, 11.5 hours.
Yeah.
So did you get, what did you do? You stopped for lunch
and if you,
dinner time then?
Yeah, I stayed and there was a canteen, and that's where you had this music while you worked. They had entertainment on
£2
sometimes.
a week?
Concert parties, that's where all these, after these
How
stuff.
did you move to that, to Metrobix?
Well, I had to do that to go in the forces.
Alright, so
Called up, you were all, I was only 21, you see, 20.
Bulmers wasn't war work then?
No, oh no. That wasn't war work, so yeah, I had to go in the forces, but I didn't want to go in the forces. Oh, the land army.
So what did Bulmers do then to keep running?
I can't remember what happened to them, what they did after, because I wasn't interested.
Well, they wouldn't have had anyone to work then, would they?
Eh?
They wouldn't have had anyone to work then, would they?
No. But It Transformers, but I got flooded it, you see. As long as you could use two hands, you know. You picked them up like that, two set, you know, that thing in the middle. You had to slot them all in. They had to be all perfectly. If they weren't all perfect, but everything those days had to have a transformer in.
Listen to this. They used to search you.
Eh?
They used to search you when you went out.
Oh yeah.
Bits.
You passed, when you come in at work, there was a man on the gates, you see, check you in and check you out, you know what I mean? But, your lunch, your hour at lunchtime, one thing one thing that I remember with chips, that was lovely when you got chips, you know, in this canteen. Yeah, you bought a week's tickets, you know, for your lunch. And one thing, it was just a pastry with cheese on and chips. Black fruit, peas, carrots, you know, got banana pudding. Anything. Well, they always had these concerts, you know. Some of them, I suppose, became famous eventually. You know, it was quite nice, really. And then it was all along, but
On the radio,
eh?
On the radio.
It comes and they went to train you. They were called headsters, you know.
While you're working?
No, your lunch break, that hour. That hour. Yeah. Sometimes it just be music, and sometimes
I've got a movie camera on this.
it could be different
You do
things
that.
going on, you know.
Walk away.
They were all working for the, you know what I mean? People, you see, everybody joined together, you know.
We were lucky if we got a
Yeah.
picture of you. You
Yeah.
Ian didn't mind, but you did.
Because many a time as well, when 1940 we were at the Blitz on Manchester, we up all night in the shelters.
When she comes,
So
you know.
to work next day.
So who was on the
I'll take this with me, my purse, my
Yeah.
bag, even if we're only going for a run.